Welcome to Sunshine Cathedral's Queer God Squad. It's Tuesday, March 31st, 2026. I am Bishop Darrell Watkins, the Senior Minister of the Sunshine Cathedral. With me today are the Reverend Dr. Ann Atwell and the Reverend Kevin Tisdall. We are the Queer God Squad. Visit sunshinecathedral.org to learn more about us.
Queer God Squad was created by Hotspots Happening Out to support our mission to explore the value of faith in the LGBTQ community. There is no streaming TV show like this in the entire world.
In 2026, we are celebrating the 41st anniversary of Hotspots Magazine, with Queer News Tonight sharing over 11,000 stories and 11 million views so far. We are the largest nonprofit LGBTQ media organization in America, and we encourage you to support our mission to inform, entertain, and educate our community and allies. This is the Sunshine Cathedral perspective. Transgender Day of Visibility, Faith, Freedom, and Fierce Truth. Transgender Day of Visibility, observed every year on March 31st, is more than a date on the calendar. It's a declaration. Founded in 2009 by transgender activist Rachel Crandall-Crocker, the day was created to celebrate the lives, contributions, and resilience of transgender people, not only to mourn violence, but to uplift joy, leadership, and truth. The modern LGBTQ+ movement traces back to the Stonewall Riots, where transgender people, especially Black and brown trans women, stood courageously at the front lines. Visibility has always been part of liberation. Today, as anti-trans legislation impacts healthcare, education, and public life, this day feels especially urgent. Across the country, transgender people and allies are speaking out, demanding dignity, protection, and the freedom to live openly. For many people of faith, visibility is deeply spiritual. Sacred texts remind us that every person is created with intention and divine worth. To live authentically is not defiance, it is testimony. It is stepping into the light exactly as you were made. Transgender Day of Visibility calls us not just to see, but to affirm, protect, and celebrate transgender lives as sacred. And joining us today to talk more about this day, its importance in today's world, and what action looks like now, is Manëësh Chatman, Senior Management Consultant and co-founder and director and co-founder, yes, of Harmonizing Masculinity Collective. It was a mouthful, but we have our special guest. Tell us something, introduce yourself, and then we've got 1,000 questions for you probably.
Okay, yes. So as you already said, my name is Manëësh. I serve as the Senior Management Consultant for TransInclusive Group, additionally the co-founder and director of Harmonizing Masculinity Collective. Of course, there's many other hats that I wear, but in the spirit of visibility, I think it's very important to ensure that we are getting those voices of trans masculinity out there. And I'm so incredibly grateful that TIG has afforded me the opportunity to see firsthand what it looks like to be visible, not just for the sake of saying that we won't be erased, but also for the fact to say that, yes, all of those things that you did mention before are happening with legislation, with healthcare, with bills of that nature. But here we are, an organization that provides you that linkage to housing, that linkage to our emergency crisis fund, as well as the ability to get into our Choices program for trans women who are experiencing houselessness.
Mm-hmm. When there's housing crisis, is that mostly from families being sort of cruel and unsupportive, or is there discrimination in renting also?
It's actually, it kind of goes hand in hand. I won't say that it's one is more effective than the other, but what I can say is that when they do come to us, the fact that we do have a connection with AHF, which is the AIDS Healthcare Foundation, they have a program called the Healthy Housing Foundation, and we've been successful with being able to get people into that program to where they now have stable housing, and they're able able to, so that's some of those social determinants that we're fighting within the organization. So now they don't have to worry about housing. Now they can have stable housing to be able to have a stable job, to be able to, like, if they have to ride the trains, because a lot of trans masculine folks don't have access to vehicles, don't have access to transportation. And so again, with the funds that, of course, the Florida AIDS Walk helps us with those funds, it helps us with allowing to get them Lyft rides, as well as helping them get money on their, like, say, public transportation, like the Tri-Rail or something along those lines. So again, in that space of visibility, I will say that we definitely provide that avenue for them.
I was just thinking about the access to things. We talk about the trains and the transportation, but also I've heard horror stories about emergency rooms.
Right.
The just ignorance in medical professionals.
Right.
How when people are like HIV positive, they get this one medical need, they need their hormones or whatever, and then they have this other medical need. Who in this county or in the Tri-County, who is equipped to deal with such people with respect and dignity and actually keep them healthy?
Without, going too deep into my own horror stories of what I've experienced, again, I can say that there are places like Midland Medical that come into play.
Morgan's Group.
Yes. So there are people out there and organizations that are helping us, because being a veteran, a 10-year veteran, there is a lot of ignorance in that field as it comes to our bodies, shall we say. And I'm not one that disconnects from any part of my existence or creation, because I love everything about my creation. And so I know that I still need that care of the OBGYN. I know that I still need, whether I have top surgery or not, I know that I still need to be screened for chest cancer or what have you. So I know that we still need that help. But again, there is narratives out there that we have to be intentional about fighting, and this is one of those spaces that I'm so grateful to have been provided that opportunity to do so.
Great. You're a veteran. My husband was a 10-year veteran of the Navy.
Yeah.
When we have this thing going on since Saturday, we've decided that we'll just, beat up another country, and then deal with them not taking it lying down, and it's a big mess. But during all of this, they have fewer hands on deck, as it were, than they could have had because of this ridiculous executive order. So, what can you say about that? About that there are people willing to protect a country that hasn't always protected them, and they're just told no, thank you.
Yeah.
After we thought we made more progress than that.
Right. So that's I'll say that's a very tricky place to trot. Being that you take an oath, when you're under that oath, they let you know that whatever person who is in charge, that is your chief and commanding officer. And so it's not necessarily an agreeance type all the time, but more so we're sworn to uphold this oath at the end of the day. So that's why I say it's kind of tricky territory. It's not exclusive, because again, what's happening is what's happening, and I can only hope and just move in the space of knowing that everything is happening, everything that's being kind of brought to this uproar is only leading us to a place of peace or a place of calm.
Yeah.
And so we kind of got to go through the steps in order to get to the other side.
Okay, I don't want to be a question hog. I'm going to let these people ask something. But I do have one more question, and that's Kansas. The driver's license thing, that on a certain day, I think it's the end of this month, that everyone who drives will be a criminal. I mean,
that's the interesting standpoint that they do have up there, to say that they're going to, you essentially have to turn in everybody who identifies as trans has to turn in their driver's license. And I believe that they're going to give, I could be wrong on that, but I believe that they're going to give a license back, just not one that affirms the gender that we have chosen. things are getting kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Around a population that only makes up 1% of
I'm
the
saying,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
So yeah, I can drive if I'm okay with you dehumanizing me. That seems like not a fair exchange.
yeah. I would agree. The question that I have is, how can we be an ally? I don't want to just automatically say, oh, I'm an ally, because that's not really my place to say that.
Right.
That's for others to say. But how can we, or how can I, be there for folks in the trans community?
I will say, one, you're already doing it right now.
Okay.
Right? Again, this is a platform that provides visibility, and that's exactly what we really need right now in the space of controlling our narratives and being able to tell our stories. There are a lot of stories that are being told in media right now that are just not reflective of who we actually are. And so by giving us this space to be able to do that, that's one way of being an ally and one of the most powerful ways, because the voice is one of the most powerful tools. Additionally, you have a voice too.
Yes.
You also have certain privileges, certain rights, certain things that you're able to do in certain spaces that you're able to enter that we have yet been able to step foot in. So in those spaces where we're not in those spaces, you got to be in those spaces for us. And when we are out there on the front lines marching, get on the front lines in front of us and march with us. So I'll say those are three places that are great to start, and we've already started here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We say about queer allies in general, if you're not with us, if the rocks aren't hitting you also, you're just a fan. You're not an ally. You're a fan.
I admire what you do.
Yeah. We need allies, not just fans.
I think my comment and question is kind of on the same wavelength. I grew up I came of age in the 1970s.
Right.
So I saw a lot of what was going on within the queer community. And one of the things that annoyed me and still annoys me is the separation between blacks and whites. And I think it carries over in the relationship between gays, lesbians, and trans people.
Right.
How do we, it's not a fair question. I know that we need to bridge the gap. What are some of the things that you see being done that helps to bridge that gap?
So I'll speak specifically within TransInclusive Group. There is a program that's called Sisters in Health and Unity. That's one of the programs, and it bridges that gap between cis women and also trans women. So they come into the space and they fellowship at what health looks like for Black women as a whole, not just one specific type of woman. Additionally, with Harmonizing Masculinity Collective, that opens the space for trans masculine folks such as myself, and then also cisgendered men to also come into that space and create that harmonizing of masculinity. So being intentional about, again, inviting us in your spaces and saying, hey, we see you when it comes time to, and also showing up to our events too, right? So we did speak about Transgender Day of Visibility. TIG hosts a Transgender Day of Visibility event every year on March 31st that is open to the public for you all to come out and celebrate with us. So being in those spaces it would be of great support to bridge that gap.
We're bumping up against time, but I think this is important enough to do that. Has faith been something that's helped you or gotten in your way in this journey?
I will say that, again, there's a lot of conceptions about myself. And I love to use I statements when it comes to this particular topic, because I've had to create my own relationship from where I was when I was younger with where I am now. And for me, there are many gods that are floating around. And for the entity that I fall more in line with, there is no description of who it is. It is neither male, it is neither female, but it is also male and female. So that's the place where I come from. And to say that, because again, there is a narrative within the trans community that there was a mistake that was made in our creation. There is no mistakes. There is no mistakes whatsoever. And it, being the creator, knew the path along the way. And so to also understand the space of oneness of everything is of the creator. There is no exceptions. Everything in this existence was created by the same entity. And so to say that one path is less divine than another, I mean, I can't speak towards that in a negative light, because again, that's your path to do that, right? It just doesn't mean that we have to be in the
It's
same.
bullshit.
Welcome to the queer.
This is the language that we speak.
Listen,
You're very kind and enlightened.
and again, I'm with that too, you know, because I am that which I am, and also that which I am not. And so I just think that again, we are the creator experiencing itself in the many facets that it is.
That seems like a good last word to have. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
It's been enlightening.
Thank you.
And that's the day with the Queer God Squad.
Thank you for joining the Queer God Squad today. We are here daily at 3 p.m. to have some fun and discuss what our LGBTQ community is talking about. Please like and share this and other episodes of the Queer God Squad.
Sunshine Cathedral is the world's leading progressive queer church. Progressive, queer, and God are words that naturally should go together. Remember that we are all in this together. Also remember, you are God's miracle, not God's mistake. Until next time, we are the Queer God Squad.